like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Seoul, November 11th, 2025. The night air over Itaewon was cool and hushed, the kind of silence that hums before a story breaks. Then came the click of a camera shutter, and the stillness fractured. Within hours, the entire world was talking. BTS's Jungkook, the youngest member of the global phenomenon, had been spotted returning home with a woman believed to be his new girlfriend. What began as a quiet evening walk beneath the soft glow of Seoul's streetlights soon turned into a storm of speculation that swept across the internet like wildfire. At 10:47 p.m. Korea Standard Time, a dark Hyundai Palisade SUV slowed before a sleek, high-walled property in Itaewon. The gate slid open soundlessly as Jungkook, dressed in a long black coat and baseball cap, stepped out. Beside him walked a woman in a gray coat and a simple bucket hat, her movements composed, her presence understated, yet magnetic enough to ignite millions of conversations. Witnesses described the scene as intimate without being overt. "They didn't hold hands or anything like that," said a local resident who happened to pass by. But the way they walked together, quietly, comfortably, it felt close. The woman reportedly carried a small shopping bag and a can of iced coffee, suggesting a late-night grocery run or dinner nearby. She seemed at ease. Jungkook, calm and unhurried, even smiled before entering the property. In that fleeting moment, Seoul was none the wiser that it had just witnessed the spark of the year's most talked-about story. By dawn, Jungkook's girlfriend had rocketed to the #1 trending topic on X, formerly Twitter, amassing millions of posts dissecting every pixel of the grainy photos that had leaked online. Fans zoomed in on reflections, shadows, and clothing details, building theories with forensic precision. HYB, Jungkook's agency, remained characteristically silent. "We do not comment on the personal lives of our artists," a representative stated curtly. But silence, in the world of fandom, is never truly empty. When Jungkook changed his social media profile picture to a plain black square hours later, it was enough to set hearts racing. Was it coincidence, defiance, or quiet acknowledgement? No one knew. Everyone speculated. The reactions were as divided as they were emotional. Some fans, the protective army that has stood by Jungkook since his teenage years, sent waves of love and support. "He deserves happiness, just like anyone else." Others admitted to feeling a bittersweet ache, not out of jealousy, but nostalgia. "It's strange," one fan wrote. "We've watched him grow up, and now he's living his own adult life. It feels like watching someone you love step out of a dream." For a fandom that has lived through a decade of laughter, tears, and milestones, this wasn't just news, it was a quiet, collective reckoning with time. And then Jimin appeared. On that same night, while Jungkook's name dominated global trends, Jimin went live on Weverse, unannounced. The live lasted barely 10 minutes. No filters, no bright lights, just him in a dim practice room, a single piano, and a hauntingly slow melody that seemed to echo something unspoken. He didn't mention Jungkook. He didn't need to. His soft smile wavered between warmth and distance, his eyes tracing something far beyond the keys. "His eyes say everything," one comment read. Another added, "He's smiling, but it's a sad smile." The clip spread faster than the rumor itself, 7 million views in 12 hours. For many, it felt like a parallel story unfolding in real time. Jungkook entering his home with someone new, while Jimin played alone in the quiet. Their connection has always been a pillar of BTS's emotional fabric. From playful teasing on stage to wordless support backstage, Jimin and Jungkook were the duo fans affectionately called soul mirrors. Over the years, countless moments between them became immortalized in fan compilations. Laughter caught between dance rehearsals, small gestures of care, and the kind of bond that needed no definition. But as time passed, the group's dynamics naturally shifted. Solo careers, personal pursuits, and the inevitability of change pulled them into different rhythms. What once was constant now lived in scattered glimpses, occasional collaborations, quiet interactions, and memories the fandom replayed like a favorite song. People forget that idols grow up, said Professor Han Mi-kyung, a cultural analyst at Dongguk University. They are no longer just the boys we saw debut. They are men navigating their private lives under extraordinary public pressure. It's natural that their relationships, even the closest ones, evolve. Not everyone agreed with how the media handled the revelation. Fan organizations released open letters to Dispatch, urging restraint and respect for privacy. In turn, Dispatch defended its decision, claiming its report was within legal bounds and of public interest. Yet for many, the story wasn't about journalism or ethics. It was about humanity, about seeing someone they've loved from afar take one more step toward real life. Rumors about the woman's identity began to circulate. Sources claimed she wasn't a celebrity but a professional in design and marketing, known for her quiet demeanor and professionalism. Some reports suggested she met Jungkook through mutual acquaintances earlier this year. They seem very grounded, one insider shared. It's not a flashy romance. It feels mature, respectful, like two people who understand each other beyond fame. HYB declined to confirm or deny the details, and Jungkook himself remained silent, choosing instead to post a black-and-white video snippet of his studio session days later, his voice raw, his focus steady. 2 days after the sighting, Jimin appeared on a radio show. When asked about BTS's current relationship as a group, his answer was brief but weighty. "We're all focused on our own lives right now," he said with a small, thoughtful smile. "But we continue to support each other. Some things change, and that's just part of growing up." The internet seized on his words. Fans replayed the clip endlessly, examining his tone, his pause, even the subtle exhale before he spoke. Was it sadness? Acceptance? Or simply exhaustion? No one could say for sure, and perhaps that's why it resonated so deeply. Industry analysts predict HYBE will stay silent, allowing the frenzy to fade naturally. Time is their best strategy, one insider remarked. They'll wait. Then Jungkook will release music, Jimin will appear in group content, and the focus will shift again. It always does. But for many, this moment lingers, not as scandal, but as symbol. The sight of Jungkook stepping into his home and Jimin playing a quiet piano piece under the same Seoul night felt like two timelines quietly parting. A beginning for one, a reflection for the other. It wasn't rivalry. It wasn't heartbreak. It was growth, the kind that feels tender and heavy all at once. In the end, maybe the question isn't whether Jimin was jealous or Jungkook in love. Maybe the real story lies in the stillness between them, in the unspoken acknowledgement that even the strongest bonds must evolve. That night, under the November sky, Jungkook closed his front door and disappeared into the warmth of his home. Across the city, Jimin pressed one last note on the piano, letting it fade into silence. And somewhere in that silence, between the shutter clicks and the sighs of millions of fans, the world realized something quietly profound. Even legends grow up. And sometimes, growing up means walking different paths under the same sky.